Hello. Now, recently I've gotten 30 games played on my Missouri, so I decided to actually check up my stats on how I've been performing in the ship. And much to my surprise, my average damage on the ship was 131,000 damage. Now, I consider this extremely high, especially for me because I don't really consider battleships to be my strongest suit, and I thought maybe I compared it to my most recent played T9 battleship, which was Friedrich der Grosse, and in the Friedrich, which I considered a very strong T9 battleship, I only averaged 101k damage in comparison. So basically a 30k increase in average damage. So I figured maybe it's just a ship that's so incredibly powerful. So I decided to go to Warships today to compare the rating and see how other people have been performing in it. And well, much to my huge surprise, there's actually a huge difference between me and the second best player when it comes to the Missouri. In fact, not just VTR based 300 points, but average damage. Once again, this almost 30k difference between me and the second best Missouri player, which is weird because I tend to play the Missouri solo quite a bit. So I really don't usually perform super well in battleships because I am way too impatient in battleships. I don't have the patient playstyle required to be extremely successful in battleships. I tend to YOLO in far too much and just die. But for some reason, this seems to really work out with the Missouri. Now, I was wondering, what exactly is it about this ship that makes it so basically perfect for me? Apparently, this ship seems to fit me like a glove. And I took this most recent game that I played, I think yesterday. I wanted to experiment some stuff. Most of all, a new patch hit today, so all the old replays broke. So I kind of tried around here by downloading an old version of the client to make an older replay work. In this case, the client is in Russian since I downloaded the 0.5 what is it, 15.12 or something, basically the older version, not the newest version. And surprisingly, having a second client and running your old demos on the old or old replays on the old one worked perfectly well. So that was actually a nice surprise. But for you guys, if you're wondering why some Russian ships are written in Cyrillics, and why you might see stuff like the first blood message be in Cyrillics, that's of course because it's a replay on a Russian client. Now, I chose this game as an example because, well, first of all, I'm against multiple enemy Missouris, pretty much the same opposition. I'm instantly recognized in chat, which is pretty normal as well. For me, I mean, that's one of the reasons, once again, why I usually, sometimes I tend to attribute some worse games to being recognized and being especially focused. Of course, there is no doubt some confirmation bias there that I expect to be focused and so forth, and I might even blame being focused as the reason for not performing when it's in an actual fact a player mistake I have made. Regardless, pretty common game for me in the Missouri, and I've actually been wondering what it is about the Missouri that has made me enjoy it so damn much compared to the Iowa, which I didn't really enjoy too much. I can only the only thing that really comes to mind here is, well, the better armor on the frontal plating, the experience from the Missouri to know exactly which build I want to go for. Well, I've of course gone over the build in my previous Missouri commentary, and I must be heavily the radar. It must be heavily the radar that gives me this almost arrogant confidence to go in against multiple DDs. Here I popped the radar for my team since there's 2 DDs inside the cap, so I popped my radar just to help my team be able to focus them and be able to help here. Now, on my left here you see something which annoys me a bit, and it annoys me to the point that I should mention it. You see the Tashkent next to me? He smokes up to shoot, and as you can see, he's got plenty of time on his smoke. He's got additional puffs that he could easily use. So in this case, he could have smoked me up on the way. There was literally nothing preventing him from popping the smoke a bit earlier, so he could cover me in the smoke as well. And I see that quite often. People, I mean, when you're a DD, and if you're planning on smoke, I don't mean, you don't need to always use your smokes for someone else. I don't always use my smokes for someone else, and I definitely don't expect the average players to use their smokes for someone else. But, as an example, if you are going to use your smoke regardless, and on your way to the position where you want to smoke up, you happen to see a friendly cruiser, friendly battleship, whatever, why not smoke them up on the way? It removes nothing from you, but it helps your teammate tremendously because, for example, for a battleship, the smoke is not just about being undetected and not being shot at. It's also about not being detected while firing. Of course, killing cruisers in a battleship relies heavily on not being detected because you want to fire when you're not seen, so they don't see you, see the shells coming, get the warning, and start turning away. And now I don't mean incoming fire warning, but I just mean you showing up on the minimap and then seeing the shells coming their way, which is of course a pretty big tell that they need to dodge. Having the smoke prevents that from happening and is one of the big reasons you can surprise a lot of people. Like an example, this Shiratsuyu. That's an example of how to smoke up. He's planning, well, I guess he just used it for me. I guess he doesn't even care about his own smoke at this point. But this position isn't really that good, and since no one pushed A during my radar and none of the DDs are pushing A either, I'm just going to push it in with my radar right now. And I think, as I said, this might be one of the reasons why I really enjoy this Missouri, is the fact that as a battleship I am able to lead charges in it. I am able to lead by example much better than I could in the Iowa, for example. What I disliked about the Iowa was, of course, if you had a DD somewhere or someone who smoked up in front of you, you really had no options. And that's, of course, not the case with the Friedrich der Grosse, which I comparatively had, 101k damage in average. So it might be, that's also a fairly aggressive ship, but it's not as aggressive as the Missouri is, thanks to its turret placement, which allows you to push in while keeping so many guns on your target. So it might be this combination of this fantastic turret placement and improved bow armor and radar, basically all these things that add to an aggressive playstyle, all these things combining into this ship that is pretty much tailor-made for a battleship player that enjoys to play aggressively, which is me in a nutshell. There's a lot of battleships that I don't even enjoy playing, or I straight up don't really perform that well in, and that's mostly because of my impatience. I want to push in, I want to be aggressive, and then if the ship itself hampers that, then I tend to struggle to even enjoy it to begin with, and if I don't enjoy a ship, well then my performance is going to suffer heavily. I need to enjoy it. I'm biased in that way that I really need to enjoy a ship to have a really good performance in it. And when I start enjoying ships that I even disliked in the past, somehow my performance automatically rockets based on that as well, which isn't really that strange, is it? I mean, you do something better if you enjoy doing it. That's not exactly surprising. And that's definitively been the case for the Missouri. Oh, is this guy in North Carolina really gonna give me full broadside here? How fast is he going? Oh, damn it, he's accelerating. He is accelerating. And I get the dispersion troll, which is exactly 1 Europe. And I mean, that still happens. That still happens in this battleship, even with the reduced dispersion mod that I run on it, which I of course recommend heavily. Well, you can look at my Missouri build commentary if you're interested in knowing what build I run. But even with that random dispersion stuff, I still enjoy it. See a DD, instantly shoot DD. I wish more battleships did this, guys. If you see enemy DDs, instantly shoot at them. I had AP loaded, yes, I got 4 Urpens, but 4 Urpens is 5,000 damage. And when our well, actually it's more, 5.4k. And when our Akatsuki here has 13k HP and you deal 5.4k, then it really, really hurts, and you guys should be dealing that damage as well. If every battleship reacted the same way I do, well, DDs would instantly die everywhere. Luckily, most people are idiots and they don't understand they should be shooting DDs, which is of course fantastic for the average destroyer player, because battleships think they were not gonna hit, they're not gonna get big damage, they're not gonna get whatever, and all these reasons of course help the thing here. Okay, torp me. I'm gonna eat one, I might eat two actually. I can't really dodge these. So the biggest threat is the Atago, but luckily he's about to give me broadside, so I wait until he goes for the turn, aim right for the waterline, just use the front guns, because I want to keep angled, and blap. Two citadels instantly destroyed the Atago. You don't want to be giving broadside that close. And that's the thing though. There was a battleship here, there was a DD, there was an Atago, and I just keep pushing and rushing and charging into them. And I love it. I absolutely love the ship. It's so much fun for some reason. It's gotta be like this combination of armor and radar. Oh, gotta make sure I torpedo beat this, because I really can't afford to take a flooding damage since my repair is on cooldown. And this great damage, this potency combination, they are only one citadel, 4 opens. The ship feels fantastic to me. And I mean, yes, the price on it is ridiculous, but it's been pretty great for me so far. Now of course, Missouri versus Missouri, he has 60k HP, I had 50k, he's healing up as well, so this might be a bit of a struggle, but you know.
Drop it now! We are gonna die.
We are gonna die. You're gonna die. I'm gonna die. We're all gonna die. Just not today.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my time to go. Going through, and the search is a mystery. Standing on my feet, it's so hard when I try to be me. Whoa, deja vu, I just been in this stand before. Higher on the beat, and I know it's a...
And of course, a sudden hard turn into the left throws off the aim from his front guns, and the shots aimed at my citadel only gets one of them. In return I get two, and once I get close enough my back turrets get the angles on his citadel and I completely wreck him. I only had time to shoot one citadel with the back turret because, well, he died from it because I did so much damage. Hunting the Kraken here. At this point I've already amassed 4 kills and it's just barely 10 minutes into the game, but this game is already ending. Hoping to get the Kraken from this Gero, but some other battleship decided to actually shoot at it and the game ended soon after. And this kind of ridiculous aggressive playstyle has been for some reason working extremely well in the Iowa. I mean, not in the Iowa, in the Missouri. And looking at the sheer amount of credits you make is of course ridiculous as usual. The XP bonus and the credit bonus on the ship is absolutely insane. Base XP wise, not too bad. Beat both the divisions out, which is of course always nice. Then again, I was the T9 here, but these kinds of games have been happening quite often with this ship, as seen by the stats, and for some reason it's working really great. And I can only assume that that's because this Missouri is simply a ship that is exceptionally well suited for aggressive battleship players. Who knew? I didn't.